Welcome back to our office administration class. In the last lesson, we look on the type of business. Today, we're gonna look about the size and the nature of businesses and the impact it have on either employees, the business, or the general public and environment. So let me highlight the various aspect or area on which the size and nature will have impact on. Firstly, the multiplicity of position on staff, the type and pattern of relationship, nature of duties and responsibilities, deployment of employees, decision regarding decentralization or centralization, extent of computer hardware or software storage. So these are the general areas that the size and nature will have impact on. So let's go into a brief summary of each of these areas. So we have the multiplicity of position on staff. So generally, a small business or small size business will have less staff than a large scale business. So this is basically dependent upon the size of the business and the activity involved. So many employees will be employed at that business. It won't be logical to have a small business and have a lot of employees because we have to think about payment, we have to pay these employees, we have to think about our profit line as well. So in this case, they may employ a small amount of employees in a small business and have them doing multiple tasks. And whereas in a large business, we won't want to have very few amount of employees, and we're running a large business. It will be impossible for all of those staff to complete or to reach the company goals because they will not be able to complete the task by themselves. They will need more employees, more help to help the organization to run properly. So the size will affect how many persons are employed in that business. Therefore, the multiplicity of position on staff. Secondly, is the type and pattern of relationship. Basically, they're talking about the organization chart or how information is passed on within the business. In a small organization, the owners may pass on information directly, whereas in a larger organization, it's impossible for the owners to reach out to all of the workers individually, so they may pass on information to their manager, who will pass on information to their supervisor, then to their workers. So, and there are different organization chart. We're going to look at that later down in this lesson. Nature and duties and responsibility. So as we said in our first point we were talking about with the multiplicity of staff, the nature or size of the business will depend upon will affect how many person are employed. If there are less person employed in a business in or an organization, those employees will have to do more jobs, they'll have more responsibilities to carry out. For example, one person might be in charge of answering the telephone and dealing with customers. Another person may be responsible for collection of money and preparing payrolls in a small business because they can only afford to hire a small amount of employees. So the employee hired they will have to perform more jobs. Whereas in a large organization, they'll be able to hire more employees, and the employees will be able to specialize or to focus on fewer responsibility and duties in a large organization. The next we're going to look about on the deployment of employees. So the deployment is moving equipment and staff to areas where it will maximize or make them more efficient. So managers will or will evaluate employees' employment and move them to areas or equipment to area which they can function well in. So, depending upon the size, a manager might say, okay, in a large organization, you can function in a specific area. You can function in better in another area, and he or she will move that person to an area where they can function properly. Even in a small business, they will use their evaluations of the employees and move them to area in the firm or the organization where they can function at their best. I hope that you all or you will do your research and continue reading your handouts. I will see you in the next video.